I promised to show you how to crochet cable stitches, and I already taught you front post double crochets and back post double crochets, and that's the essentials for crochet cable stitches. I'm starting with a chain of 32 plus 2 stitches, and I'm working one first row of single crochets. So one single crochet into every chain. That makes the following work just easier. This has nothing to do with a pattern. I always start with a single crochet row. Crochet cable stitches are usually worked with double crochets and front post and back post double crochets. So you should practice those stitches a little bit before starting with cabling. For the next row, as we will be working with double crochets, you work 3 turning chains at the beginning and 1 double crochet into every stitch. That's one wrong side row, and maybe you noticed already, even with crochet items, you see clearly the right side row and the wrong side row. You may distinguish easily because the right side row has such a fine cable, a horizontal cable at the beginning of the piece, and the wrong side row has a rounded edge. So now we lay out the pattern. This is the first pattern row, and you start with 3 turning chains again. This counts for 1 double crochet and 2 more double crochets into the next 2 stitches. Now 1 front post double crochet into around the next double crochet of the previous row. Be careful to hit the correct stitch. But this is only necessary in the first row. I do some slow motion now, so put your needle around the double crochet of the previous row in front. Fetch the working thread, pull it through 2 loops and pull it again through 2 more loops. So the only difference is that you work around a double crochet in the previous row. So now you have to skip 1 on the back, 1 stitch, because you worked that in the row below, and now 3 more normal double crochets. And now for the first cable we work 2 front post double crochets around the next 2 double crochets of the previous row, 1 front post double crochet and a second front post double crochet. Now 1 standard double crochet, skip 2 on the back side to be sure, and again 2 front post double crochets. Watch out that you skip 2 on the back side, and 3 more standard double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now again 1 front post double crochet for sort of a rib, and 3 more standard double crochets. And now for embedding the next cable, so you see already some ribs standing out. And now we lay out a slightly different cable, and we start with 2 back post double crochets. So the next more wide cable will be embedded in back post double crochets. Slow motion again. For the back post double crochet, you put your needle around the next double crochet of the previous row from back, pull through the working yarn and pull it through 2 loops on the needle and pull it again through the other 2 loops on the needle. And now 6 front post double crochets for the second cable, which be a little more wide than the first one and worked a little bit differently. So 6 front post double crochets. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 more back post double crochets. You only have to be careful where to place your stitches in the first row. Afterwards you see clearly what to do. And at the end 3 double crochets, the last one of the 3 into the topmost turning chain of the previous row. You may check the number of stitches now, you may control it. It should be, after the turning chains, 31 stitches, just to be sure if you did everything right. And the next wrong side row starts with 3 turning chains, and in the wrong side rows all the stitches are worked as they appear. So after the turning chains, 2 double crochets, followed by 2 front post double crochets, 6 back post double crochets, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the row, 3 double crochets, last one into the topmost turning chain of the previous row. So not too difficult so far, right? And again 3 turning chains for the next row. And now we start with the first cable row. We will cable the second cable first and leave the first one uncabled. Is this the right term? Don't know. Okay. After the turning chain, 2 more double crochets and 1 front post double crochet, 3 normal standard double crochets, 2 front post double crochets, 1 standard double crochet and 2 more front post double crochets. Three standard double crochets, 1 front post double crochet, 3 standard double crochets, 2 back post double crochets, and then we will start the first cable. Now we will work triple crochets, and we start with the 4th front post double crochet. So 1 triple crochet into the 4th stitch, another one into the 5th stitch, another one in the 6th stitch. And now 3 more, starting with the first one. 1, 2, 3. Triple crochet in around the first front post double crochet, another one around the second front post double crochet, and a third one around the third front post double crochet. Bingo, your first crochet cable. And now you continue with 2 back post double crochets, and 3 more standard double crochets, the last one into the topmost turning chain of the previous row. You got it. Here you see what you've done. 3 turning chains for the wrong side row, and again you work every stitch as it appears. Besides those triple crochets will be worked as double crochets again. Front post, front post, and now 6 back post double crochets. Maybe you have to look a little to catch the right one, but that's just a matter of a little practice. You see clearly where those back post triple crochets are located. The 4th one is a little tricky to catch. It's almost a little bit hidden, but it's no problem too. And and 2 front post double crochets after it, and continue like before, every stitch as it appears. 3 turning chains for the next row again, and now we will cable the first cable column, and we will alternate those cable rows. Here you see those nice ribs that's produced by those back post double crochets, and now 2 double crochets after the turning chains, 1 front post double crochet, 3 standard double crochets, now this one we will work a little bit different, so 2 triple front post triple crochets around the 4th and 5th stitch, then 1 standard double crochet, and then the 1st and the 2nd one. So triple front post triple crochet around the 4th stitch and around the 5th stitch, then one standard double crochet. You have to look where to work it. It's the 3rd stitch in the back, and now stitch 1 and 2 triple crochets, front post triple crochets. So here we have 1 standard double crochet in between 2 pairs of front post triple crochet, and you continue with 3 double crochets and the rest of the row, all the stitches as they appear. Same for the wrong side row after it, 3 turning chains and every stitch as it appears. And after that you start again with the first cable row I showed you. And such crochet cable patterns are really great for hats, for blankets, but also for jackets or other crochet items. And here you see the difference between those 2 cables. It's just a sample for showing you the technique, and I'm sure after this you are able to invent your own crochet cable patterns. So here it's 1 more cable, and here you see those fine ribs embedding the wider cable, and on the back side you have a rib stitch. Enjoy. Maybe I'll give you a tutorial for a hat in a few days.